Hi everyone, my name is Tom and welcome to week 5. My presentation is on how promoting diversity and redundancy can contribute to increasing resilience. But first, let's have a quick look at what is meant by resilience and why it is important in managing complex adaptive systems. In the context of social ecological systems, Walker introduced a good definition of resilience as the capacity of a system to absorb disturbance and reorganize while undergoing change so as to still retain essentially the same function, structure, identity, and feedbacks. The general resilience of a system is the capacity to respond to unknown or unforeseen perturbations and is characterized by the degree to which the system is capable of self-organization and the ability to build and increase the capacity for learning and adaptation. The system's specific resilience is the capacity to respond to a specific disturbance and is characterized by the amount of change the system can undergo and still retain the same controls on function and structure. General resilience, however, is much harder to assess and quantify. Simplifying the analogy using the basin of attraction model, a system with high resilience could be modeled by the basin on the left. With tall, steep basin sides, the system will readily return to the attractor and current system state after a shock. Significant disturbance would be required to reach critical thresholds. A system of relatively low resilience would be modeled by the basin on the right. Its shallow, gentle sides representing little resistance, and only a small disturbance would be required to send the system past thresholds and into an entirely new system state. Complex adaptive systems are characterized as having several interconnected autonomous agents, all having their own unique abilities, strengths, weaknesses, as well as many of the components having the ability to choose a response to a system disturbance. Generally, systems with numerous components are more resilient as there is a level of functional redundancy or insurance if components fail. Functional redundancy is especially important for components that provide vital system services, as the vital service can still be provided if the original fails. Diversity within the system adds another layer of resilience by providing what is known as response diversity. This occurs when the interconnected components of the system are able to react differently to a disturbance, allowing the system to adapt by prioritizing responses from stronger components to compensate and protect the weaker ones. Both redundancy and diversity help to promote general and specific system resilience. In a well-connected system where component functions can overlap, creativity and adaptability are fostered. This helps to promote emergent behavior within components and overall system transformability in response to disturbances. An example of well-executed redundancy and diversity in order to promote resilience is Australia's hospital systems. Their vital role within society requires them to provide emergency treatments for common situations like car crashes and pregnancies, as well as be operational and resilient during unforeseen and unknown disturbances. For local Newcastle hospitals, unforeseen disturbances throughout history could have been the 1989 Newcastle earthquake or the 2007 Pasha-Bulka storms, while unknown disturbances could be seen as the current COVID-19 pandemic for pretty much every hospital in the world. The ambulance system provides great redundancy in getting patients to the hospital, with several vans available at each station. In addition to the standard vans, they have access to a range of vehicles and aircraft, creating substantial response diversity to ensure the service is maintained in any situation. Diversity and redundancy are also present within the essential services provided to the hospital. Each hospital is connected to the power grid in multiple spots to increase the security of supply during local disturbances. In the event of major power outages, response diversity is provided by on-site power generators. Significant diversity and redundancy are also necessary in hospital staffing. At any given moment, a great diversity in skill sets and specialist knowledge is required to effectively treat any emergency or illness. Diversity in knowledge and skills is also crucial for management of unknown illnesses. Staff redundancy is equally important for the system to operate effectively in times of peak demand or routine disturbances such as staff holidays or illness. The COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated the great need for effective redundancy and response diversity within the system to manage this disturbance. One method utilised was rediverting the employment of specialist staff and medical practitioners from areas of less demand into the hospital system. The increased redundancy of staff providing basic medical responses ensured hospitals remained in the desired system regime and continued providing their essential service. For complex adaptive systems, effective resilience isn't only about the system's capacity to remain in the current regime. Resilience is also obtained from system adaptability and transformability, and therefore can also be measured by its capacity to cross thresholds into similar regimes. A good example of this is General Electric Company. From initially manufacturing light bulbs, GE has since diversified, reinvented, and evolved into finance, aviation, healthcare, and power, to name a few. Each evolution can be seen as a fundamental operational change, but has resulted in a highly successful organisation resilient to disturbances in the competitive global market. Thanks for watching my presentation. I hope it has helped clarify the relationships between system diversity, redundancy, and resilience. I look forward to our discussions during the week and during the class. See ya.